Hey, Avon,
What, Sean?
I gotta tell you a dad joke.
What is it?
My uncle named his dogs Rolex and Swatch. They're his watchdogs?
Oh my gosh.
All right, I guess I need to just stick to the MoneyWise FAQs.
Should probably do that.
Hey, Sean, how are you?
Hey, Bobby Joe, I'm great. How are you today?
I wanted to ask you, what are some of the most common payroll compliance mistakes?
It's a great question, Bobby Joe. I'll tell you, the most common payroll compliance mistake doesn't even feel like a payroll compliance mistake. Every small business is required to have all of the federal and state labor postings visible for all their employees. And one of the biggest mistakes we see is that labor law poster isn't posted, and or if they have remote employees, those remote employees don't have access to those labor law posters. Just because an employee is in their home doesn't mean you as an employer don't have a requirement to make sure that they have access to those postings, because those postings are required by law. If you work with MoneyWise, we send all of our clients a labor law poster every year and keep them compliant with updates. Anytime anything changes, they get those updates. And then we do also have a service where we allow you to give your remote employees access to the appropriate postings for those states. We have a solution for that. Make sure that if you're not working with MoneyWise, that whoever you're working with has a solution for poster compliance and for how you're getting that to your remote employees.
For some small businesses, is there anywhere that they can go to see a list of, what compliance they need to be in order with?
Yes, there are lots of places that they can go to check out compliance, and unfortunately there are a number of places they need to go. You will want to check in with the Department of Labor, both the U.S. Department of Labor and your state Department of Labor. The U.S. Department of Labor sets the rules for minimum wage, for overtime. As we were talking about posters, right? Some of those states have different requirements with regards to how overtime is calculated, who's eligible for overtime, what the various rules are about discrimination. So you want to make sure that you have those rules from the federal government and from the state government. Both rules may come into play on some of those. Some of the common payroll mistakes is not calculating withholding correctly, or not filing your payroll tax deposits on time, or not filing your payroll tax returns on time.
There's so many levels in compliance with filings and payroll that business owners don't even know happen.
Right.
That's why they hire a, payroll company.
Yeah, right. It's hard. There's a lot of things to do. And so if you're a large business, you probably have a staff, a team. You've probably got a general counsel, you've got an HR person, you've got folks who can help you with that compliance. If you're a small business, you want to make sure that you have somebody who can help you with compliance. Obviously, we're a payroll company, so we'd always recommend you work with a payroll company, but your accountant, your payroll company, if you've got a personal attorney, they can help you with making sure that you're compliant and all of those things.
What is the worst that could happen? If you find out that, there's an audit and there is a compliance piece, how does that normally work with different agencies?
So, right, what's the worst that can happen? We can all think of a really scary outcome. The truth of the matter, in most of these cases, the compliance issue comes down to, if you have an audit, the first time you have an audit, you're going to be asked to probably take some corrective measure and bring your business back into compliance. If you're a repeat offender, that becomes a different issue. But in most cases, the worst that's going to happen is you might have to take some corrective measure, pay a little penalty, make some other kind of change, and then you may have an extra audit 16 or 18 months down the road to make sure that you're compliant with the changes that you were asked to make. Beyond that, assuming you make the change, you'll be okay. You are responsible to know the rules, and most agencies aren't in the business of trying to put people in jail because they weren't following them correctly or didn't understand. Obviously, we're not attorneys. There are certainly things that can get you into more trouble, but for most folks, if you're out of compliance, making an effort to come back into compliance as quickly and as accurately as possible is going to resolve any out of compliance issues.
At the end of the day, that's the agent's goal, is to get you in compliance, make sure you're up to date on the responsibilities, had that ever stepped out.
And that's the truth, right? We work with IRS agents and with Employment Commission agents where the issue really does come down to, yes, this return was missing. Oh, well, as it turns out, it was lost in the mail. Getting that refiled really just takes the air out of that compliance finding. And a lot of them are really simple, right? It's, can you give us another copy of this thing? Once that's then in and posted to your account with the particular agency, that's the end of it. There's often not even any other additional penalty or interest or bother.
For anyone doing, small business at home, they don't have a payroll provider, they don't really work with a CPA or bookkeeper. Are there any online tools or anywhere you would direct someone to just where to start?
There are a lot of online tools, and again, kind of in this day and age of AI and search, you do want to make sure that you're using good sources. From a federal perspective, you want the IRS.gov, the Department of Labor, which I believe is DOL.gov. You want to make sure that it's a state-run and state-mandated site if you're looking for those particular things. Just make sure you're clear on where you've gotten your information. Maybe not stop with the first one that says exactly what you wanted to say, but make sure that you've got a couple of different sources that all say the same thing.
I think all this information is super helpful. Compliance can sound scary.
Yeah, compliance can sound scary, and most business owners got into business not to learn all the compliance rules, but to make cakes or sell great clothes or provide legal services or be a doctor, and not learn about compliance and payroll compliance and labor law compliance. So finding a partner to help you with that is always a good thing. Thanks for the question, Bobby. This has been a great conversation. If you have questions about this or any other payroll-related matter, please feel free to check out our website or follow on our socials. And if you're interested in making a payroll change, please reach out to us directly.
Our website has an affordability calculator. You can enter in just a little bit of information and we'll get back to you with a quote. You can also give the office a call or schedule time to come in and speak with any one of us. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have.
My name's Sean.
My name's Bobby.
And this has been a MoneyWise FAQ.